Maggie and Mark are getting ready to move back in, so we are here in their new family room. We made some changes to the walls. So with these walls, we wanted to make them a little bit more modern. So we actually added a molding to the paneling to make it look a little bit more modern. And then we added some additional molding where we vaulted the ceiling to make it all come together. The biggest change in this room is that because this room was a sunroom at one point, it kind of stepped down from the rest of the first floor. So there was a little bit of debate about whether or not we would bring this room up to the first floor level. Team Mark was leave it the way it was. He did not really care about it. But Team Maggie was like, I need one level, and Maggie won.
Team Mark was budget. Team Maggie was, I don't care about the budget right now. This has to get fixed.
Team Maggie was like, if this is gonna be my family room, I need to not trip when I walk in. So I did tell Mark that Maggie could have potentially saved his life, because if he ever tripped here and hurt himself, it would have been his fault. But since Maggie won, I said, just remember that she saved your life. So I think he's happy that we did this. This used to be a doorway. Now this is an actual opening, and reconfiguring this kitchen. This kitchen was very, very small. Maggie and I went through many versions of the kitchen layout before we finally landed on this. And one of the things that was super important to her was that the sink would be centered on the window. And we also didn't want to give up a corner cabinet. And as you can see, these cabinets are very small. So we could not fit on this wall the refrigerator, the sink, a corner cabinet, and the dishwasher, and have it all be balanced. So we decided to keep the sink here. You have the big window. And then we also did a few built-ins here. She wanted to make sure she had a lot of storage, so we did spice storage and utensil storage on both sides. And then we added this little island, and this island is very functional. Not only is it additional counter space for working, but we also ended up putting the dishwasher in this island. We ended up putting the trash in this island, and then we also did a built-in paper towel holder. So this is a very functional island. You've got workspace, you've got trash, you've got dishwasher, you've got paper towels. There's a lot happening here, but no seating because this is just a workstation.
Who would have thought washing dishes could be so much fun?
I mean, you can try it at home if you want, it's fine. It'll be fun.
That sounds like a diss.
No, it sounds like it'll be fun. I think it'll be very fun for me.
Yeah, it will be. I'm very good at washing dishes.
Great. And then the adjoining room, the dining room, there was a wall that separated the kitchen from the dining room. So we took the wall down, and then this is the old dining room. We have moved walls, we have moved windows, we have moved pretty much everything.
Mountains.
Mountains.
We've moved mountains
also
to make
mountains.
this work. Yes.
Music room's gone. Now we have a big island. That was another thing that she really wanted, was a big island. We did a light box here, and it's funny because this texture she saw in one of our other projects, wanted to use it as a backsplash, but it's not really good material to use as a backsplash, so we were able to use it for the light box to incorporate that. She really wanted to get some creative storage somewhere else in the kitchen, so we were able to get this little tiny nook on the back of the stairway wall. And we did some open shelving, and then we also did some closed shelving for extra storage in the kitchen. So the windows in this room were tiny. They were old double hung windows. So we ended up replacing the window in the front with a much larger window to let a lot more light in. And then on the wall behind me, we ended up adding 2 casement windows on each end because they wanted to have a TV in this room. So we ended up designing this bar area so they have a lot more cabinets for storage. So we did some drawers and some cabinets. We ended up putting the microwave in the island. There's a secondary under counter fridge in the island. So again, very functional. This started off as a very tiny kitchen, and now there's just storage everywhere, pretty much. The bathroom had a little bit of reshuffling. We ended up removing a hallway closet, stealing a little bit of room from the bedroom that adjoins the bathroom because we needed to make it a little bit bigger. Much bigger vanity. We ended up getting a closet in the bathroom, and then they wanted a walk-in shower, so we converted this tub area into a huge walk-in shower with a double niche because Maggie really wanted her own niche. I don't think she wanted to share with Mark. She wanted a really big shower head, so we did a rain head style shower head with a handheld. I actually love these fixtures because they're black, but they have a little bit of gold detail on them. At the entry, we have a small space between the front door and the kitchen. So we opened up the staircase, cut the railing back a little bit, put new balusters in. So now this is much more open.
Let's talk about this family room.
Living room.
Living room.
This is going to be the living room.
Living room.
Right. This room was the original living room of the house. This is a 1950s cape, so it had the big red brick fireplace that Maggie pretty much hated, and she really wanted a linear fireplace. And I just love every green, so this one is no exception.
Susan likes the paint color on the wall so much that she wore it. But who wore it better?
It did have a bay window before, but that was a little bit dated. She wanted to get more light in here. This makes it a little bit more modern. And then the biggest change in this room, and really in all the rooms, is that we got rid of the baseboard heat. So now we have floor vents, we have central heat, and most importantly, we have central air. A lot of the rooms in this house were very closed off before. So with this renovation, opening everything up and letting everything breathe a little bit, it just feels like a whole different space.
It's like this house just took a tear out and let it down.
Yeah.